już znacie, nie tą melodię. Moi drodzy, to inna wersja. Discovery Cycle.
Some days I felt lonely.
I wersja
even though you were there.
Sunrise'owa.
Sometimes I wonder if only
czyli
we're acting out of fear.
Taka bardziej
Charles IV, King of Bohemia and Holy Roman Emperor, had a long and successful reign. The empire he ruled from Prague expanded, and his subjects lived in peace and prosperity.
Someone there?
Mother of God!
blessings of our Lord be...
And with you, lad. Take a seat. I'm sorry I can't tell you everything, but maybe we can work something out. But first, I'd like to hear something about you, my son. With whom do I have the honor? Where are you from?
Cheers.
I'm from Skalitz.
Oh, I'm sorry. What about your kin?
They're dead.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Here, we'll drink to them. It must have been terrible.
It was. But I really don't like to talk about it.
I understand. I'm sorry. And how did you come to get this assignment? I'd have expected Sir Hanish to send that old grouch, Bernard.
You think I'm too young for the job, Father?
I do, to tell the truth.
Well, I can only apologise for my lack of grey hair and gout.
Now the most important thing. What actually happened at Noyle? The good folks hereabout are saying all kinds of terrible things, but I take most of it with a pinch of salt.
The rumours aren't exaggerated this time, unfortunately. The Neuhoff stud farm was raided by bandits, but they didn't come to pillage or even take the horses. They only wanted to kill. They maimed the horses and slaughtered some people. I'm sure they would have killed more, but the bandits quarrelled among themselves and broke off the attack. And judging by what's left of our Lubosh, they're still settling accounts.
I see it's every bit as bad as people claimed.
Tankard of ale for me.
Dreadful. Well then, here's to those poor souls who had to die so pointlessly and so terribly.
I've told you all about me. Now it's your turn, Father. You don't look much like our parish priest at home. I noticed you're pretty handy with a sword. I wouldn't expect that of a man of the cloth.
You know what they say. The Lord moves in mysterious ways.
But this is a bit more mysterious than others.
Let's just say I haven't always been a priest. Fate led me to places where affairs were settled by force. These days, of course, it's just a bit of exercise to keep me in shape.
Well, we've had an agreeable chat, but now let's get down to business. So, about this confessional seal. Do you really want more innocent people to die?
Henry, that's not how it works. There are matters in which you can't make exceptions because if you do it once, you'll forever be tempted to do it again. If people stop believing in the church because their confessional secrets are betrayed, they won't trust anyone, and that's worse than even the most hideous crime.
You're just making excuses. The people who say the church is corrupt are right. You don't care about anyone, only your own comfort.
I'm sorry you see it that way. Really sorry. You've no idea how wrong you are.
I always wondered about the things a priest tells his congregation. Where on earth do you get the ideas for your sermons?
Well, Ujits is in Prague. It's not enough to instruct people. They have to be entertained, too. If I only read from the Bible, I'd soon be preaching to an empty church.
Our priest wasn't exactly a bard. So what do you preach to your flock about?
It has to be something topical. Condemning vices. And, of course, describing them in detail. A tongue lashing about the two popes goes down well these days. And stories from real life, with a nice moral to them, are popular as well. Especially if they're about fornication and similar scandalous vices.
Can you give me an example?
Well, recently a priest by the name of Jan Hus started preaching in Prague, in the Czech language, and the people liked it. I hear he always has a full house. A journeyman who heard him told me what Hus is preaching, and I like the sound of it. I'm thinking about putting it in my own repertoire.
What's so amazing about it?
The preaching of Master Jan Hus about Mother Church. The lamentable wealth in which the church is drowning has turned to poison. And nearly the whole of Christendom is contaminated. Just like a flock of hungry ravens, they settled on this land to devour every grain of gold and silver. They know no mercy. Their hearts are corrupted by longing for wealth, and they shamelessly profit from everything. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay and you will have absolution. What if the devil himself were to pay? Would he ascend to heaven too? With such money gained from the poor, they buy beautiful horses to ride and needless servants to pamper them. They gamble at dice and dress their whores in expensive furs. While Jesus Christ walked barefoot and had no place to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too. Amen.
Well, this Jan Hus character is quite a rebel.
Oh, the congregation will love it.
I don't doubt it.
Let's drink to that.
Funny. That last bit reminds me of someone.
What do you mean? My situation's completely different. Huth preaches against the prelates and the clerics who are robbing the poor. Look at me. I don't have a pot to piss in. I'm no better off than the folk I preach to. I'm one with them in poverty and suffering and everything that troubles them. I drink with them and curse those stuffed habits in Sasau Monastery.
Don't you think it's a bit odd when someone boozes and lives in sin with a woman and then criticises the Pope for debauchery?
No, I don't.
What do you think of this Jan Hus?
He's certainly a wise man. A little overzealous for my taste. If he got out of Prague and came here for a look, I'm sure he'd stop condemning drinking and lying with women.
Where can I find out more about his teachings?
You like it? I copied down some of his sermons. If you're interested, you can read them at my presbytery.
What do the common folk think of it?
They like it. They're happy to hear someone say what they think themselves, but are afraid to say aloud. Things that make them angry. And they're calling for change. In a few years, it'll have grown beyond control. You mark my words, the people will rise up and the church will be shaken to its very foundations.
Yeah, unless they burn him at the stake first.
Nonsense. They can't burn a master of the most respected university in Europe.
Thanks for the sermon, but I think I've been morally uplifted enough. Oh, it's getting quite late. What are your plans, Father?
What do you suppose? We have a drink, of course.
Ah, that sounds like a good plan.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Przyszła bida mora lat, to nie ustoi żadnej chlap. Na kraj padł desej smutek, do dnielo i rano utek, niech już małżeński majstak, do wczera żylne saje brak. Už sej moji svatý muži, nechtěl bych bejbě jich kůži. Nám je to jedno a tak si dáme jedno a požerem si huby jako poslední den. Budeme se bavit a do rána slávy a tak vypal sudy a posaď se mi sem. Tak posaď se sem a vypal je ven. Ukaž kozy jako vozy, zítra je tu soudnej den. Tak nalej mi hned a točí se svět.
Enough of this!
Bailiff, come on over here, sit down and have a drink with us.
Don't vex me again, Father. It's 3 hours past dusk, and curfew is long gone.
So what?
So, I'll have you all whipped and put in the stocks, and I'll write a letter to the bishop about you, priest.
Well, nothing to worry about then. Everyone knows the only one around here who can write is me.
Enough! Men, throw them out.
Oh, You looking for a fight? Henry, back me up.
Kurwa wy.
Oh dear. Did I? What's up? Don't wait.
Had enough?
So, my dear, would you like to have a little ring on the bell? No sooner said than done.
I'd love to. And Henry, too, I'm sure. Right, Henry?
Stop that nonsense, Godwin. Are you out of your mind? What will people say?
They can say what they like. What do I care? What do they do to me? Watch the step, my dears. Careful, you don't hurt yourself.
Godwin, you're a buffoon.
Here we are. Look at this beauty.
Oh. We can't do this, can we?
Who says? Get ringing, wench.
This is wonderful.
Ah, bloody oath. And now, my dears, comes the climax of the evening.
Godwin, you old goat.
Come here. Oh.
Priest has mounted up. What do you say, Henry? Shall we take a little ride of our own?
Well, I have to say that was a fine evening.
Godwin, you beast. Get up. Do you hear me? Wake up, you drunkards!
Oh, fucking hell. Where the... Oh, what the... Oh, who the hell are you? Oh, Henry. My great friend, Henry. Didn't we have a wonderful time?
Well, you certainly did, you old lecher. Now you better pull yourself together quick. You haven't much time. There's some water and something to eat on the table there, but if I were you, I would move my hairy arse before my flock eats me alive.
Oh, step on my head. My guts. Oh, my poor suffering stomach. Oh, what was that woman on about? Before my flock eats me alive. I've forgotten something. What have I forgotten?
Where the fuck am I?
What the fuck was it? Oh. Mass! Oh shit, I have to say mass. I gotta say mass. You have to help me.
How? You're the priest.
I can't do it in this state. Maybe the liturgy. But I have to give a sermon as well. Oh, this is a disaster. They're gonna excommunicate me.
I'd like to help you, but...
You can. You can do the sermon for me.
What? So, first I investigate a murder no one wants investigated. Then I drunkenly keep the whole town up all night. And now you want me to preach at them from the pulpit? Do you want them to burn us at the stake?
No. No, I've got it. Suppose that Sir Ratzig's protege. You just came from studying in Prague. And you want to share the words of Master Jan Hus, who you recently heard preaching there. Henry, look. From what I remember, we might have overdone it a bit last night. And if the bailiff or someone else complains about me, the bishop's gonna have my guts for garters. So I'd appreciate it. Stop gaping at me like a stuffed squirrel and start helping.
You're mad. You're stark raving mad.
I'm not. It's a perfect plan. It's flawless. Oh. How about this? If you help me with this, I'll tell you who Lubosh's cronies are.
So all at once the confessional seal isn't so sacred?
Don't mock me. I won't give you a second chance.
We'll never get away with it.
Not if you make a hash of it.
Well, all right. But I can't make any promises about what'll happen.
No, neither can I.
What do you want me to do exactly?
I'll go and start the liturgy. Then I'll introduce you. You give the sermon I told you yesterday in the tavern, and that's that. No need to drag it out. If it turns out well, I'll tell you what I know about Lubosh.
Christ almighty. Fine then. We have a deal.
Wonderful. Let's get to it then. Tell me you changed it.
Never show up.
Swill. Look at him. He can hardly walk after his capers last night.
You were with them, you beast. Just you wait.
Look at him. Mother of God, any minute now he'll throw up.
So I couldn't sleep a wink last night with all that clamor.
In nomine Patris, et Filii, et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Accepit panem in sanctas at venerabiles a manus suas. Hac facite in meam commemorationem. Brothers and sisters, you may have had the honor of meeting Henry from Skalitz, who is here at the behest of Sir Hanush to investigate that heinous crime at Neuhof. You might not know that Henry recently visited Prague, where, by the grace of God, was able to hear Master Jan Hus from the esteemed Charles University preaching. I've managed to persuade Henry to stand here today in my stead and tell us what he heard. Because, as you all probably know, Jan Hus is a very popular preacher in Prague. So, Henry, you may begin.
Now I'm curious which one of them will puke first.
Brothers and sisters in Christ, I would like to talk to you about our Holy Mother Church and what iniquities it's declining into.
That boy has a cheek.
Creation has given to every man the power by which he might rule the whole world. But that power does not give him the right to rule. That right belongs to God alone. It is the corruption of God's pastors here on earth that has brought misfortune on our heads. Plague, humans, hunger, and chaos. The accursed wealth that the church is drowning in is poisoning almost the whole of Christendom. When dogs are fighting over a bone, take the bone and they will stop. Just like the flock of ravens that has descended on this land to peck up every speck of gold and silver. They show no mercy. Their hearts are poisoned by covetousness. They trade everything. Everything is for sale. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay, and you will have absolution. And the prelates sin and give themselves absolution.
For shame! Shame upon them!
It is the custom of the gluttonous prelates and monks to preach against sin. But what do they know of us ordinary folk? Let us remember the marriage at Cana, where our Lord Jesus Christ himself feasted with the other guests and drank his fill. And when the wine was gone, he performed a miracle and created more. He, whose companions were poor travellers, simple folk, prostitutes and troublemakers, performed a miracle so the feast could continue.
Now that's the kind of sermon I like to hear.
No, brothers and sisters. Jesus did not condemn alcohol. Drink to lighten the cross you bear in this vale of tears, but not with such abandon that you cannot keep holy the Sabbath. For there should be moderation in all things, and it is not drinking itself that is sinful, but intemperance and beastly indulgence.
He's right.
Enough about sin. which the prelates are so fond of preaching about, and whose absolution they promise if you only pay enough coin to Mother Church. What if the devil himself were to pay? Will the bishops tell us he too would ascend to heaven? And what about those bishops? They sin without remorse, and with the money grasped from the poor for indulgences, they keep fine horses and hordes of servants to pamper them. They play dice and garb their mistresses in expensive furs, while Christ, the Lamb of God, walked barefoot and had nowhere to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too.
Down with the prelates! Away with them!
We're fortunate to have our good Father Godwin. At least he's a fair and simple man.
I say to you, in the words of Jan Hus, he who knows much, let him speak much. He who knows little, let him speak little. Let each speak as much as he knows, and he who knows nothing, let him at least teach his neighbour one virtuous deed by setting him good example and refraining from playing dice and from fornication. And that applies both to priests and to you, brothers and sisters.
That's his conclusion.
That is all I heard in Prague. Amen.
The lad spoke well, considering what a soak he is.
He's right, that was.
The young man shouldn't drink so much, but the Lord's given him a
I'm
silver
glad he
tongue.
came here. Don't suppose I'll ever get to Prague, and he told it nicely.
Well, well, my boy, you have talent, and I can't deny it. And you pulled a thorn from my side. I almost didn't make it.
Yeah, I noticed. I wasn't the only one.
Oh, what's to be done? I'll make it up somehow.
So, about our bargain.
Although it's a sin.
So gluttony and fornication.
God does forgive a penitent.
So, what did Limpy Lubos tell you? Was he at Neuhof that day? Who was with him? And where are they now?
Now, slow down. I'm sorry, but he didn't tell me that much.
Don't let me down after all I've been through. For you...
Well, now Lubos came to me shortly after it happened. His conscience was gnawing at him. And I must say, in the end, he turned out to be a better man than he looked. He said they'd been hired through some crony of theirs. And at first they were just to steal some horses. But then it all turned sour and people started getting killed. And neither he nor his cronies wanted anything to do with that. So they fell out from the gang and fled.
Fell out?
Yeah, there was a body found in the woods by Neuhof.
That would explain something. Lubos kept jabbering that he wasn't a murderer, that he didn't want to do it.
So I know that Lubos killed the murderer and he's dead too. The trouble is, I need to find the ones who are still alive. I need names and places. Did he mention any of the others?
Only nicknames. Talked about some fella called Riki from Ledechko, Pius, Timmy.
Pius. That lot are about as pious as I am ordained.
Nonsense. You would make an excellent priest. And anyhow, with your skills, you ought to be able to sniff out this Riki from Ledechko, right?
Well, we'll have to now. There's not much else to go on. Let's hope he's not hanging from the wall too.
Indeed. And I'd hate to be excommunicated for nothing. Anyhow, good luck. You watch out for yourself. These people clearly mean business. And I'd like to raise a tankard with you again sometime.
Yeah, I'll try. Although I'm not sure I'd survive another night of your debauchery.
And if anyone should ask, you heard nothing from me. I'll deny everything.
I don't doubt it.
I wonder what Teresa's doing now. I could stop by and see her again. I enjoyed it last time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Greetings, Henry.
Would you like to get up to some more mischief? It was fun the last time.
Yes, it was. I'm a bit surprised you thought so too. Although a girl doesn't get a chance to tend the wounds of a gallant defender every day.
Hey, lad.
It's quite late to be going out somewhere just now. Will you come tomorrow?
So what are we to do with you, Henry?
Do you still feel like doing something together?
Shall we play blind man's buff?
That's really what you want to do?
I know it's a game for children, but I always liked it, and I won't feel stupid playing it with you.
All right, why not?
Good. Then follow me. Nobody will see us here in this barn.
Are you shy?
It's a game for little children. Of course I'm embarrassed.
Well, adults play it too, you know.
But only when they're drunk.
I'll cover my eyes.
Well, they do say love is blind.
Cheeky boy.
But this is a game you won't be winning. I've got ears sharper than that.
And I'm as stealthy as a cat. You'll never find me.
We'll see.
But if you leave the barn, you lose. Come here. Come on, spin me around. What are you waiting for?
Blind I may be, deaf I'm not. Make a sound, and you'll get got. How does it go after that?
It doesn't matter. Go and hide. Here. Just you wait. I'll find you.
Why are you sneaking about like a ghost? I bet you're here. No?
Ha! Got you. Where are you? You're a sneaky one. How come I didn't hear you? Oh no! I've left clothes out to dry. We have to bring them in before they get soaked. Oh no, it's completely soaked.
You'll have to put it by the stove to dry.
No, that would just make it reek of smoke. Help me bring it to the hay. It's sopping wet.
Not afraid of thunderstorms, are you?
Not anymore.
Shouldn't we spread the linen out?
Henry, hush now.
Hey, lad, don't you want a little wager on the rat egg tourney?
About that evening.
Ah, yes. I never thanked you properly for helping me with the laundry. That storm would have carried it off to God knows where.
Oh, I think you thanked me enough. But next time we should take shelter somewhere else. That hayseed gets into places it shouldn't and itches like mad.
Henry, you donkey. You really know how to sweet-talk a girl, don't you? And anyway, what do you mean by next time? Just what exactly do you have in mind for the two of us?
How do you see things?
Me? Well, when you're not behaving like a total nincompoop. I kind of like being with you.
I behave like a nincompoop.
Yes, Like now, answering a question with another question. How do you see it with us, Henry? If I really must say it, I like you very much. And you saved my life in Skalitz.
And you saved mine. So we're even. Well, we'll be together. Like a couple. And when the time comes, you'll take me as your husband, right?
You're full of yourself, aren't you? But that's not how things are done.
Well, obviously, under normal circumstances, I'd ask your pa for your hand, but...
Papa? Yes. He'd set the dogs on you. Now you'd have to get Uncle Peshek's blessing.
I reckon I'd have no better luck with him. Unless he saw a way to profit from it.
And I'd have a sack of flour for my dowry. But seriously, Henry, what kind of husband would you make? You can't sit still in one place for an hour at a time.
Well, I've got a lot of duties, but... I'm very fond of you, you know. And maybe one day...
I know, you silly sod. We can't get married yet. But we can still see each other and be fond of each other.
I've got something that needs stitching up. Could you do it for me?
All right. I can't have you walking around in torn rags, can I? Show it here. I've got something for you. I got them from Uncle Peshek. Just don't go poking them where you shouldn't.
They're lockpicks. They're not really intended for poking in your own locks.
True, but at least don't get caught. And if you do, you didn't get them from me.
Wouldn't you like to take a stroll somewhere?
In this weather? Let's leave it for another time, eh?
I'd like to know...
So, how'd you like it in Rattay?
It's a big town with good strong walls, so I suppose we're safe here. And they took us in our hour of need, but for how much longer? They'll grow tired of us soon enough.
That's all.
Greetings. What do you need? Goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Good health to you.
I'm looking for a fellow called Riki. Have you ever heard of him?
Sure. Why wouldn't I? That's what they call my son, Hinek.
Ah, you wouldn't happen to know where he is, would you?
I don't know nothing.
Don't you at least know where he usually goes? It's important.
Hinek shows up at home once in a blue moon, so I don't know nothing about where he gets to. Even if I did, why would I tell every Tom, Dick, and Harry?
Do you at least know any friends he's with, or someone he goes to see?
As far as I know, nobody here in the village talks to him.
No one at all?
No, no one. Tanning and currying stink, you know. He has nobody but me, and you can see how he treats his old man, the ingrate.
Your son is about to get into deep shit. I'm trying to find him so I can warn him.
That's nothing new. He's always up to his ears in it.
But this time his neck's on the block. He got mixed up with some very dangerous people. I have to find him.
All right. He was here a few days ago, but he left right away. He looked like he was in a hurry.
And you don't know where he went?
I've got an idea, but I don't know where it is exactly.
I don't follow.
Henrik makes some money on the side from poaching. He boasted to me a few times about what a great hideout he found in the woods, but he never told me where it is.
Well, it's not much to go on, but it's better than nothing. Thank you. Don't you have any clue at all where his hideout could be?
I really don't know nothing about that. I could tell when he'd come from there is all.
How's that?
Because every time he brought some hides for tanning and money.
He had money because he sold the stuff right away?
I suppose. He never kept any of his loot here.
Do you know who he sold it to?
No. But the innkeeper came here now and again and gave him coin. Of course, it could have been for me.
All right. I'll ask at the inn then. What more do you know?
Nothing. I swear to God Almighty, I've said all I know. Henrik never told me nothing.
I know he didn't talk to you about it, but you must have noticed something, right? How much time did he spend away? What was he wearing? How did he look when he came back? Anything?
Well, he came and went at all sorts of hours. I really don't know. Except maybe one thing. He'd come home scratched with brambles and with leaves and muck on him.
So he probably went through thick woods to get to that place.
I reckon. What do I know? Go. And if he's really in as much shit as you say, please, try and find him. What's up? You need some help?
something happened.
Good afternoon.
I'm looking for a fellow they call Riki. You know him?
Ah, that would be Hinnek, the tanner's son. Yeah, I know him. He comes here now and again for a chat.
Ah, I see. So Riki is his nickname?
Aye, but I wouldn't call him that to his face. Doesn't like it much.
No, I don't suppose he would.
So, what about you then? You look a bit careworn. A bath with a bit of company might do you good.
Maybe later, sweetheart. Right now, I have some questions to ask.
Ask away then.
Where can I find Hinnek?
I haven't seen him in the village for a few days. He must have run off to the woods again.
Does he do that often?
From time to time.
What the hell does he get up to there?
I don't know.
He goes to the woods from time to time. That smells fishy to me.
What do you mean? There's no law against it, is there?
With all the footpads, looters, humans, and God knows what other vermin around, it's not the sort of thing an honest man would do.
But Hinnek doesn't have anything to do with those people.
Oh, really? Then what does he do there? I don't imagine he's gathering mushrooms.
I really don't know what you want from me. So Hinnek is a bit odd and sometimes he goes off into the woods. So what?
When did you last see him?
What's going on there?
A few days ago. He came to me late in the evening, drunk.
And that was unusual?
I never saw him drink much. He always came to me sober.
So he was acting strangely that evening?
He was strange. I had the feeling he was afraid of something. He kept prattling on and didn't seem to care about you know what. So I threw him out and I haven't seen him since.
What's going on there?
Can you remember anything he said that evening?
Oh, I'm not sure. He went on about some fellow called Lubosh who died. That he was regretting he ever got into it, but he never said what it was. And that it wasn't worth it for the money. Aye, and then he was talking about the money. That was very odd.
What did he say about the money?
Just that he had a pile of it hidden behind his house.
I see. What did you say to that?
What could I say? He was drunk. He kept saying I was a fine girl and other harlots wouldn't go with him even for money. And if I wanted, I could even take half the money and leave. Or he'd go with me and we could get married and such. Oh, just poppycock.
Did he tell you exactly where he hid it?
He said he buried it at his father's small holding in the western corner.
All right, thank you. Did you go there for a look?
No, I've got better things to do. Obviously he made it up. Where would a layabout like him get so much coin?
Yes, I understand.
Hey, who's there?
Is it true?
What?
Other whores wouldn't go with him even for money.
The other bathhouse girls are honest, so I don't know. The truth is, I felt a bit sorry for him. Folk don't like him, but it's only 'cause his old man is a grouch and a tanner.
So you only felt sorry for him?
Both of us are the black sheep of the village.
There's nothing more between you?
No, nothing. Maybe Hinnek thinks differently, but that's how it goes.
I found out that Hinnek goes poaching in the woods and he's got a hideout there. What do you know about it? Don't worry. Hinnek has much bigger problems than being caught poaching. And you're not involved in it anyway, are you?
No, I'm not. It's true he used to go hunting in the woods sometimes. When he came back, he'd usually come to me. That's all.
How did you know he'd been to the woods?
He always talks about what he caught. and he never came to me at other times. Probably didn't have the money for it.
Do you know who he sold it to?
He never told me straight up. But who could he sell it to? The innkeeper, I reckon. It makes sense.
For sure. Do you know what route he took? At least the general direction. Anything that could help me find his hideout.
I think he usually went through the woodcutter's camp, because he always brought me freshly chopped firewood, and he had wood chips on his boots.
Good. So at least I know where to start.
Good luck then.
Who's there? What's going on there?
Hey!
God be with you. What can I do for you?
I'd like to order something here.
Uh-huh. And what do you want?
Who's there? Hey! What is...
Get myself fixed up a bit. Have a bath and get my clothes washed.
As you wish. Do you have the coin?
Fine. Here it is.
I'm sure you'll be extremely satisfied. Take care.
I'd like to order something here.
Uh-huh. And what do you want?
Hey!
I'd like a private bath for two.
As you wish. Do you have the coin?
Fine. Here it is.
I'm sure you'll be extremely satisfied. Good luck.
Oh, 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 oh. Looking for something. Take care. Hey!
God be with you.
I want to ask about the courier's son, Hinek.
But ask someone else. They've nothing to do with Riki. They only drive my customers away.
Really? I heard a different story. I heard the two of you do business together.
Who are you, anyway?
A friend of Hinek's. He's gone missing and I need to find him.
I don't know where he is. But if you find the bastard, tell him he still owes me some goods.
About the goods Riki owes you.
What about it?
Well, supposing I settle the account for him and you stop dodging my questions and tell me what I want to know.
I suppose that would be all right.
How much is it?
Before he vanished, I paid him in advance for 5 heirs.
All right, done. When I bring them to you, you'll tell me what I want to know.
Deal.
God be with you.
Hey, who's there? Good day to you. What do you need? Go. And if he's really in as much shit as you say. Please. What the hell was that? What was that noise? I must be getting mad.
fresh bread.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Good day to you. What do you need?
I'm looking for Hinek, the courier's son.
Riki. Aye, he shows up here sometimes. Why do you ask?
I'm trying to find him.
Good luck, then.
What do you mean?
Riki is like some bloody hedgehog, always creeping around in the woods. And just as prickly.
So you see him there often?
More like we don't see him.
Has he been here recently?
A few days ago. He came by in the evening, well into his cups. He might have fallen somewhere and broken his neck for all I know.
So he went into the woods?
Aye, like always.
How do you know him?
We worked together building a mill by Yanovitz, and then he vanished. A year later I came here to work, and lo and behold, there's Riki.
Do you know what he gets up to in the woods?
What do you reckon? Making money. It's no secret he goes poaching.
You're speaking as if that's perfectly legal.
No, that's not allowed. I know. I mean, I think he might be poaching, but maybe he's gathering firewood. No way for me to know, right?
Firewood, of course. I hear Riki has a hideout in the woods somewhere. Do you know where it is?
Aye, I think I was there once.
You think? What does that mean? Either you were there or you weren't.
Well, once me and Hinek had a bit of a drink together here, and we ran out of ale. Hinek said he had some stashed away in the woods, so off we went.
But do you remember anything about it? The direction or which path you took?
Aye, I can tell you exactly. We went from the edge of the camp here along the path down to the creek. A little upstream, there's a fallen tree bridging the water. We went across it to the other side, then we went uphill to a big boulder. You have to listen carefully there.
Why?
There's a spring nearby. Someone put a kind of little mill wheel on the stream below it. You can hear it going clap, clap, clap all day and night.
Uh-huh.
Once you find it, you go around the spring and nearby you'll see a clearing. That's where Hinek's hideout is. It's an old mine gallery or cave. God be with you.
I can't go any further. The current could sweep me to my death.
Yeah. Yeah. Good day to you. What do you need?
I've got that game for you.
Splendid. Some of the customers have been asking after it. That looks pretty good. So, what do you want to know about Inek?
I hear Hinek has a hideout in the woods he uses for hunting game. Do you know where it is?
Not exactly. That is... I don't know where it is at all.
But
I happen to know it's a dark place, a cave or an old mine shaft.
how do you know that?
Whenever Riki was going poaching, he always came to me first for candles and lamp oil. He brought the game skinned and gutted, so we had to have a light for that.
How much game did he bring you?
Not much, a few pieces. There's no great demand here. Sometimes the gentry has something, otherwise it ends up in sausages.
And do you know of any mine shafts nearby?
There's a few of them around. There's one on the opposite bank, a short way off the path leading from the forge to the west. Then there's a mine gallery to the east of the village, up in the woods above the cliffs. And I heard there's one shaft on the headland close to the water.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Watch you don't break your neck, though. It's rough ground, and you could easily fall down a shaft. Good luck to you. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Who's there? What's that? Well now, look what's come crawling out from under some rock. You're dead! Ow! Ow! Bastard! Ah, hey, who's there?
To rest for a minute.
What? The answer's
I want
in
to
my
try
brain.
you out.
You're in the wrong place at the wrong time. Like a rat. Quitting? Oh dear, that hurts!
Bollocks! Here! Do picie. To hell with you. Take that! Say your prayers, laddie. God.
What in the...
My respects to you, sir.
I want to ask about the courier's son, Hinnock.
Then ask someone else. They've nothing to do with it. You only drive.
Really?
Who are?
A friend of Hinnock.
I don't know.
About the...
What about?
Well, how much is it?
Before he vanished, I paid him.
All right, done.
Deal. Good luck to you.
Good day to you. What do you need?
I'm looking for Hinnock.
Riki.
I'm trying to find...
Good luck.
What do you mean? So you...
More.
Has he... So... How... Do you know... You...
No.
Firewood. I hear Riki...
Aye.
You think? But do you remember...
Aye. I can... A little up...
Why?
There's a...
Uh-huh.
Once you... Good luck to you.
Jesus Christ. What am I to do? Not that I can expect any useful advice from you. At least, you have no more cares.
Need someone to talk to?
Fuck! Don't kill me. I can explain. I won't tell anyone. I swear, I've no one to tell anyway. Just please don't kill me.
I'm not planning to kill you.
You're not one of Runt's men?
No.
Huh. Then who are you?
I come here in the name of Sir Radzig Kabila and Sir Hanish of Lipa. I'm investigating the raid on the Neuhoff stud farm.
Got no idea what you're on about.
Save your breath. If you want any chance to escape the gallows, you better come clean, all right?
Jesus Christ. This will never be over.
So?
Fine then.
That Neuhoff raid of yours didn't turn out quite as planned, did it?
Depends on whose plan you're talking about. We were up to it to grab some loot and bugger off. Only Runt's cutthroats was there to shed blood.
What do you mean, Runt's cutthroats?
There were two gangs there, mine and Runt's. We was only there to steal, but they wanted to slaughter everyone.
But when you realised what they had in mind, you didn't have to go along with it, did you?
But we didn't know nothing, even though we were going to Neuhoff. They told us to keep watch on the courtyard while they were cutting the horses' throats. Jesus, that fucking vexed me. Their horses was the most valuable thing there. When I spoke up, though, Runt gave me such a bollocking I knew I'd better keep my mouth shut. And when they said we was going to kill anything that moved, then we knew there was no going back.
That gang of yours, what can you tell me about them?
Don't know what you want to know. There was four of us. Me, Timmy, Limpy Lubosh, and Pius Pava. Sometimes we'd rob a place or hold up pilgrims. Never nothing fancy.
I'm sure you did mischief enough. Who led you?
Pius. He was the oldest, and he'd mostly find the jobs for us. Plan them and the like. He got us into that fucking mess in Neuhoff, too.
What about the others?
Timmy's strong as an ox, with a brain to match. You got more sense out of a fence post. And Limpy, I've been with him the longest. He's my one and only friend, I suppose.
Who got your two gangs together? You must have made contact somehow, right?
Pius. He comes to us and says he's got this prime job. We're gonna rob a farm, he says. That was a big deal, because mostly we just did small stuff. Hold up on the road now and then, nothing fancy. When they told us how much we could make on it, well, we just couldn't refuse.
So Pius knew them?
I suppose, but I don't know where from. We even got paid up front. I should have known from the start it was too good to be true.
Where did the rest of your gang end up?
You saw Limpy, right?
Yes, but he's no use to me now. Tell me where I can find Pius or Timmy.
I don't know nothing about Pius. He vanished in the woods, and I haven't seen him since. Timmy, I reckon, went back to the mill where he works.
Which mill?
The windmill a bit north of Neuhoff.
Did you know any of Runt's people?
Not a one. They didn't talk to us at all. None of their faces was familiar either. The only thing I know is they called that huge chief of theirs Runt, and Pius warned us to watch out for him.
I don't suppose you know where they got to after the raid?
On the way to Neuhoff, Timmy told me he was at their camp with Pius. I reckon that's where they've gone now.
Did Timmy tell you where the camp is?
Somewhere in the woods. He didn't say nothing more. Thing is, Timmy's got quite an imagination. But Pius roared at him to shut it, so I reckon there must be something in it.
Tell me exactly how the raid went down.
Well, we stormed in from the rear. Runt's people started slaughtering the horses. Jesus, that was bleeding horrible. Meanwhile, me and Limpy had a sniff round the stables to see if we could find anything worth pilfering. And in the end, we got lucky.
What did you find?
Smill, Sir Hanish's groom. I don't know why he was up and what he was doing in the stables, but we took advantage of the situation. Limpy grabs him by the throat and I slapped him round to encourage him to tell us where the money was. Then it all fell apart at the seams. Quicker than you'd believe. Runt comes running up and skewers the groom like a pig for roasting. My jaw dropped. I thought the stuff about killing was just tough talk.
And it wasn't?
No, not in the least.
What happened then?
I'm gaping at Smill, stuck through and through, and I noticed this boy standing at the other end of the stables. The stupid sods pointing at us, jaw hanging down to his knees, saying, "I know you." Runt turns to us and hisses, "Take him down." So me and Lubosh start running, because the lad took to his heels. At the same time, we could hear the noise of the skirmish in the courtyard. We caught up with the boy at the next farmhouse. I knock him to the ground, but he bashes me with some piece of iron so hard my head's ringing like a fucking church bell. Limpy grabs it off him and stands over him with his bodkin in his hand, and I start praying. In the end, Limpy just gives him a kick and says, "Beat it, Ginger." And then Runt shows up at the gate and hollers that we gotta go, so we scarp it.
What happened after the raid?
We were waiting for that fool, Timmy. Same place as we met them before, so he'd know where we were, right? Stupid fucking idea. But Pius didn't want to leave him behind. Only when Timmy finally turned up, 2 of Runt's men were dragging him.
There was some difference of opinion?
You could say that, yeah. They started on us right away that we were traitors. They knew we'd let somebody get away, and now we were going to pay for it. They started trying to surround us, and we knew what was coming. But Limpy took his bodkin and let that fucker have it in the belly.
Runt?
One of the others. Timmy broke free from them, and we all took to our heels. Luckily, they were so buggered from the raid, they didn't follow us for long. They just shouted that they'd find us.
That's all I need to know. So now what do I do with you?
Well?
Hey, over here! It's up the hill. Shh. Jake, fell the cave. Shut up. He'll hear you.
Oh, shit. Runt's people. We've got to get out of here.
They're too close. We'll never outrun them.
Fuck!
At least they don't know I'm here. The 2 of us can take them by surprise.
No fucking way. I'm gone.
Look here. If you run, they'll catch up with you and kill you. And me too. Together, we stand a better chance.
Jesus Christ. All right. I suppose you're right.
Who's there? What's going on there? You're in the wrong place at the wrong time. Shit!
You made a mistake getting on the wrong side of me.
Well, look what's come crawling out from under some rock.
What's the matter? Come on. Bring it on. You'll get more for it.
I'm gonna enjoy this. Stop! Hear me? Stop, I give up!
weak at the knees, have you? Come here, lily liver. Call that combat! Alright, enough! I give up, you hear?
I'm in no mood for talk. You're dead.
Kurva!
What are you doing here? Tired of life, are you? All right, all right.
Bring it on! Dobra, dawaj.
Jesus, is that all you
Right.
got?
Come here, Lily Liver. We're gonna enjoy this.
Who's there?
Hey,
Look what's crawling out from under some rock.
Gone weak at the knees,
is that
have
the
you?
best you can do? What's the matter? Come on. You shut fucked up here.
Bring it on!
Gone weak at the knees, have you?
Shit, leave me be! Enough, you win!
I'll let you go, but the weapon stays here.
Very well. Dear God.
I'm looking for a colossus by the name of Timmy. I heard he works here.
I don't know anyone like that.
Listen, someone wants to kill him. I have to warn him.
But I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm here in the service of Sir Hanush.
A ragamuffin like you? Of course you are.
Listen, and listen well. It'll be better for everybody if you tell me. I'll be happy to know where I can find him. You'll be happy I don't have to get nasty with you and Timmy. I'm sure Timmy will be happy to stay alive.
You don't want to hurt him?
No, like I said, I just want to talk to him.
All right, but not here. We'll talk round the back, behind the mill.
Here I am. So, why all the secrecy?
What do you want from Timmy?
Can you tell me where to find him?
Promise me nothing will happen to him.
Why do you care so much?
He's my brother. He's not very smart, you see, and he's always getting led astray by his no-good friends. And now there's some right peculiar characters looking for him.
Who are they?
I don't know, but they look like cutthroats, and they said some strange things, but I didn't tell them anything.
That's good. But sooner or later they'll find him anyway. Tell me where he is, and I'll take care of him.
He's hiding at the Colburn farm, over by Merhoyed.
I get the feeling you're looking for someone here. I'm looking for someone too. Maybe we could help each other.
And who are you looking for?
A great big ox by the name of Timmy.
I'm afraid I don't know anything about him.
That's a shame, a crying shame. I take good care of people who help me. Now, if someone were to tell me where to find Timmy, I might offer that man a job. We could use a smart fellow like that at the camp.
You have an encampment somewhere?
Well, sure we do. And no shortage of coin if you're ready to earn it.
Where is it?
Ha! All in good time. First prove we can trust you. Help us find Timmy.
I've no idea where he is. I reckon I'll have to try my luck elsewhere.
That wench didn't tell you anything.
She didn't say anything.
Oh, yeah? Stop messing around and spit it out.
I hear he's hiding in Ratai.
Oh, yeah? Where in Ratai?
I don't know. You'll have to find him yourself.
Sounds like a pile of horseshit to me. Stop wasting my time and spit it out.
All right, I'll tell you where he is.
Really? Why would you do that?
We're all Christians here, aren't we? Why not help thy neighbour? Especially if he pays 2 score groschen.
Ha! You wouldn't be my cousin by any chance. I'll give you 2 dozen, no more. Half now, and half when we find him.
Deal. You don't know when to give up, do you?
The one who has the upper hand does as he pleases. Boy.
True. Only you don't have the upper hand.
You're in the wrong place at the wrong time to fight, aren't you?
Yeah, is that all you've got?
That fucking dog!
Come here, little river.
What will happen to him?
Why do you...
And now the...
Who are they?
I don't know. But I didn't tell...
That's good.
He's hiding at the Colburn farm, over by Meroy.
I get the feeling you'll...
I don't think so.
No?
I don't stick my nose into other people's affairs, and I expect the same from them.
That's a shame, a crying shame. Now, if someone were to tell me...
I've no idea where he is.
That wench didn't tell you.
Well, I might know... You don't know when to give up.
The one who...
True.
Well, look what's coming. Crawling out from under some rock.
That's all you got. Is that the best you can do?
What's the matter? Come on!
Well, that did.
Here I am.
What prom...
Who?
I don't... But I did...
I get the...
think so.
No? Why?
Because I don't much like the look of you. You or your cronies. And I don't like you breathing on me. I don't like the way you stink. So fuck off.
Well, well. Bold words for a whippersnapper.
You're in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Gone weak at the knees, have you? Is that all you got?
You call that combat?
Here I am. So, why all the secrecy?
What pro...
I get the feeling I'm looking for...
I don't.
No?
Because I don't...
Well...
What have we got here? Entertainment! Great!
Is that all you've got?
What's the matter? Lost your balls?
Ha! You're dead.
Hey, you're not allowed to walk around here with a weapon drawn.
Here I am. So,
What pro... I don't...
He's hiding at the Colburn farm.
I get the feeling I'm looking for...
I don't think so.
No? Why not?
Because I don't like the way...
Well, you're in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Just when I wanted to vent my rage on someone.
Oh, fuck. You can't hide from me. I'll find you, you cur. I'll slay you, can't hide from me. Ha!
that the best you can do? Oh.
Where could he have vanished to? He must be here somewhere.
What's the matter?
Where could he have vanished to? He must be here somewhere.
Enough, please! I yield!
Oh dear, that hurts! I'll send you straight to hell! Ah! Kurwa fix.
Here I am.
What prompt?
Who?
I don't. But
That's.
I've got the feeling you're looking for some. I'm looking for.
I don't think so.
No?
Because I don't.
Well, well.
What are ye doing here? Sorry to
Come
fight.
on, early liver.
Come on!
Where could he have vanished? He must be here somewhere.
I'll slaughter you! Shit! Come and get it! Doctor, damn it.
Hey, you're not a...
Here I am.
What do you prom... And now...
Who are they?
I don't... But I...
That's...
He's hiding.
I get the feeling you're looking for... I'm looking for some...
I don't think...
No?
Because I don't...
What are you doing? Look what's coming. Crawling out from under some rock.
Please, have you?
Come here, lily liver.
Is that the best you can do?